out. It's the day after. I was, thinking to myself, and I happened to see some of the clips of our discussions that we had here, I had elsewhere, and I got a lot of feedback. Also, a lot of people messaged me, mostly good, but I don't know. I felt that maybe I got a bit carried away, or maybe got too emotional, or maybe could have been a bit more restrained. That's at least what I felt after hearing myself. Sometimes it happens, you say it, but then the kind of feedback I'm getting, everyone saying no, absolutely right. So I don't know whether what I said yesterday was right or what I'm feeling today is right, but what my simple point is that a day later, once the dust kind of settles down, it gives you a very different perspective. When it's just happened, it affects all of us at different levels, and you sometimes get emotional, and you speak from your heart, and then a day later when everything settles down, you speak from your head. And I think today's dugout will be quite different to the dugouts and the match point lives that we had the last 2-3 days, which had a similar tone to it. Because as I said now, because there you were still fighting for a test match, you could have had a comeback, and things were unfolding in front of us. Now, as I said, it's done. Now we have the benefit of hindsight. We look back, and so that is going to be our endeavor today in the dugout, to really look back and be more constructive in our criticism or constructive in our analysis, and try and find out where does the problem really lie and what could be the possible solution without finger pointing at anyone. But if we do feel that there is a problem area, I think we're going to not be mincing our words, and that's what we are known for here in Sports Today, and that's the sentiment I hope we carry on today as well in the dugout. With me is Shane, but first things first, we might come up with some solutions now. We have come up with some sort of solution which we think should be looked at by the BCCI. I put a tweet out saying yesterday, and that's not a sentiment that's changed, where I said that this for me is the lowest point of Indian cricket. If two not back to back, but two whitewashes in 13 months at home, a whitewash which had previously happened only once in your entire cricketing history, if two have happened in the last 13 months, then for me, nothing can be, worse than this for Indian cricket. Not even that November 19th 50 over loss that we keep talking about. None of that. Two whitewashes at home, I think, is the lowest point. Now, that's why we've come up with some suggestions. Our viewers have come up with certain suggestions. But as I said, I go back to that tweet that it's the lowest point in Indian cricket. The custodians of the game, or the guardians of the game, that is the BCCI, will have to take some steps. They will have to take some steps to course correct. If they don't do it, then you are in a free fall. And we want that free fall to be arrested. We want something to happen. Because if you just let it be like this, saying, oh, what was that famous thing, 12 saal mein ek baar hota hai, or something like that, now it's happened 2 baar in the last 13 months. You can't allow this to happen. So something needs to change. My simple question to Shane is, because he has been following and tracking all the news developments throughout the day, is something happening? Is something not happening? Will it be brushed under the carpet? Will we get into ODI mode in 2 days' time? Will we get into T20 mode in a few days after that, and then live in the T20 mode till the end of the T20 World Cup? And God willing, if you win that T20 World Cup, we'll forget about it. Is something happening or not?
So the basic answer is no. There's nothing happening.
No.
I'm serious.
Don't say that. That I've just tried to mend my heart a bit after the loss yesterday. It's not mended, but as I said, it's there towards recovery, because dust is settling down. But now I've come here hoping things will get better. You are saying nothing is going to happen. That means it's being brushed under the carpet.
Absolutely. In fact, the excuse or the justification, whichever way you want to look at it, that is being given is that no, this is a team in transition. It's a rebuild, and he's got a contract till 2027.
No, I'm not talking about a person per se of the thing. But there is a problem, right? Are you going to be addressing it or not? Doing something or not? Getting to the root cause of the problem or not?
I mean, basis what I've been seeing, there's been a shocking number of people who have been deflecting away from the issues or trying to find different things. We've had Ashwin question players of the application of the players. You've had Sunnyji himself say on our channel that no, you have to question the players as well. You have to look beyond just the personality, the cult of personality, the coach. You have to look beyond just the head coach. But it doesn't seem like anything is actually going to change, including potentially the head coach. You're saying nothing
You're
change.
telling me, no, I'll get to who's responsible. You're telling me to the BCCI doesn't matter, these losses. Then are we fools as fans? I don't know. I know we don't elect representatives in the BCCI. But just as you elect representatives, and when something is not right, it's our fundamental right and duty to raise questions and ask, why has this not been fixed? I know we don't, as I said, we don't elect BCCI. BCCI doesn't work with taxpayers' money, I agree. But we are still stakeholders as fans. And if not directly, indirectly, BCCI is running because of fans. Because fans watch, which is why there is television rating, which is why the money comes in. Because fans watch, which is why there is gate money, which is what goes back into cricket. So there's no sport without fans. And you're saying BCCI is not bothered. I don't know. See, if it was a government, I would say go and do dharna. That no, we need this. This is wrong. We need fixing. Fix this for us, right? We'd say that. And now you're saying with what you're getting to know from within the BCCI, they're not ready to do anything. I don't know whether we should all go out on dharna or fans here should raise their voice, whether it's on social media, I don't know. Or turn off their TV sets and not watch cricket till something is fixed. I don't know what the solution is. But I would request our fans to continue with pressure for BCCI to look into this matter and look into it seriously, identify the problem, whatever they think in their wise minds, whatever the problem is. I don't want to be, forcing our opinion on them. Let them be. I'm sure they'll have a cricket advisory committee or get some former players involved. I don't know. Get people together, but get to the bottom of it and come up with solutions and implement those changes, whatever it is. You can't let it saying that it has happened and we can't do anything. I can't hear that. I can't bear to hear that. As an Indian cricket fan, that's not what I want.
I mean, definitely not. You would think that these are the kind of things that force seismic changes, that will force big changes, that will ensure that you are putting in place protocols to ensure that this doesn't happen again. Because getting whitewashed at home is not normal. Especially, and I'm talking about just people from my generation, we grew up with so much home dominance that it actually stopped mattering. It stopped mattering. You didn't care much about home wins because you'd beat any Tom, Dick and Harry at home. And that included the big three. That included the Sena nations. It didn't matter who they were. They came to India and they could not win test series. That was the norm. They might win a test here or there. But they were never winning test series. Not this easily.
No, so now if BCCI is saying nothing much can be done, I would like to ask a question then, why did they force so many changes after the BGT? In fact, you won BGT 2 times in a row, yet when you went this time, you went as the underdogs. And when you lost BGT, yes, it wasn't great memories that you and I carry, but I would say that it wasn't out of the ordinary. Like if you had told me that this can happen in a series in Australia, you know it. We've seen it for 3-4 decades. It happens. Those 2 series win we celebrate because they were such an anomaly.
Exactly.
It doesn't happen. So why if BCCI feels nothing can be done, this and that, I don't know, whatever they're saying, and they're talking about contracts and all
rebuilds,
that. And I don't know. So then why did they make scapegoats after the Australia tour where they forced so many changes? They forced players, some of our senior players, to go play domestic cricket.
And my point
and then they forced this rule that families cannot travel, and this strict rule came in. Then they almost nudged the 2 players out. Again, I'm not of that opinion that I'm not getting that emotional. Oh, if Rohit and Virat would have been there, you would have won this series. I'm not getting there. I think they were there. You lost New Zealand as well. My point is, BCCI at that time showed all its muscle after BGT, did a review and came out with some stern steps. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what the board's job is. Now what you've got is much worse than into 10 times to what happened to you in BGT with now in these two particular series. And you're saying, kya kare, these things happen, what much can, there is contract running, there is this. I can't understand.
And my point is that I made this point in an earlier video I did today as well, where I was discussing this, is that you're talking about a rebuild constantly. What brought about that rebuild? What was it that brought about the rebuild? You mean to tell me that there's a regime change, there were changes made behind the scenes with regards to diktats, with regards to everything, and suddenly 3 senior players decide to quit? I think there was a lot of test cricket left in a lot of them. Yeah. Kohli for sure. Rohit maybe a little less.
I think Ashwin too.
Ashwin too, definitely. You're trying to tell me in these kind of home conditions, benign home conditions, he wouldn't be effective. Skillful bowler.
What Rohit, the way he's going about, maybe he could have played too. Though I will admit that the time that the retirement came, before that, they did have dry periods. They did. And there were questions, all right. But I'm saying BCCI was like stern, no? We know that the selectors had a conversation with Rohit Virat. BCCI gave a diktat, no families allowed. BCCI said you have to play domestic cricket. Virat Kohli landed up, played here. Rohit Sharma was playing in Mumbai. So that is what BCCI did. Why suddenly this, nothing can be done, this is what it is, this is...
I don't quite frankly understand it, because again, as I said, this problem of transition, of rebuilding, comes about due to the steps you've taken. Directly or otherwise, these players are gone because of management decisions. Ashwin, we know for a fact he wouldn't have been happy at the fact that he was being benched for Washington Sundar. Oh, again, nothing against Washington Sundar. Big fan of the guy. Does he hold a candle to Ashwin as an off spinner? No, he doesn't. But why was he benched? Because Washington gives you batting. Why were the likes of Rohit Virat pushed out? No, you're big stars. You have to be playing domestic cricket, no families. Maybe there were conversations had that no, perform or perish. So rather than try and fight things back, they simply said, no, okay, then we step aside. I'm not saying I agree with their decision. I'm just saying I can understand if it comes to that. But then these are problems entirely of your own making. This rebuild problem is a problem of your own making. It's a making of this current regime.
I want to burst a few myths today. Okay. Let's start because you were talking about these things or what former players are saying and what. Let's start because you've used that word transition, rebuild multiple times. I'm asking a direct question. 2 questions are there in this. Yeah. First one, is this a team in transition?
Absolutely, unequivocally not.
Then why is the BCCI saying that? Why is it that the former players are saying that?
I don't understand. I don't get it. Because if you go by combined test experience, I think this Indian team has more test matches played under their belts than the South African team. What is South Africa then doing so right that we are doing so wrong? Experience-wise, I don't call this a team in transition. You've got a Bumrah, you've got a Jadeja, Pant is a seasoned test player, Gill is a seasoned test player, Siraj is a seasoned test player. Okay, Gill didn't play.
But he's part of the squad, he's your captain.
Part of the squad, he's your captain. He's someone who's a seasoned test player. He's been playing test cricket for 3, 4, 5 years now. Yeah. I can't call him inexperienced. I can't call him transition. Jaiswal has been playing test cricket.
Rahul.
67 tests. Jaiswal has been playing test cricket for 2 years now. That's hardly inexperienced. The only inexperienced ones, Sai Sudarshan. Okay.
Washington now 5 years.
Washington, yes. And Washington
4-5 years.
Good batter and off spinner in 2021 when you were winning the BGT. He's improved since then. And there's him.
Kuldeep Yadav.
This is not a team in transition.
I can't think of anyone. I mean, I think Nitish Kumar Reddy is that one player.
And Sai Sudarshan.
And Sai Sudarshan.
Even Jurel has been playing test cricket for a year plus at this point. Which are Jurel and Devdutt Padikkal. Devdutt Padikkal didn't play a match.
I'm talking about 11.
In your 11, just Sai and Nitish. That's it.
And Jurel.
Yeah, and Jurel. Otherwise, on the bench, you had Akshar Patel, who's been playing test cricket for a few years, who's a certified starter pretty much in most Indian conditions.
We had somebody join us yesterday, one of our viewers, and rightly so. That's why I want to burst these myths that are going around, which I'm really surprised a lot of people are floating these theories. If you don't believe us, go and listen to what Cheteshwar Pujara had said after the test match that you lost in Eden Gardens. He said it in no uncertain terms, without mincing in words. Please don't tell me this is a team in transition. This is not a team in transition. that day was informed by one of our viewers, the combined number of test matches played between India and South Africa, the two teams that were playing, India have more test matches. Right. South Africa are the world test champion with lesser experienced players than India. Where is the transition? And the third thing is, even if I was to take, though it's completely a fallacy, it is not a team in transition as we've just proved. Even if I was to take that with a bag full of salt, with 3 players being that, even if I was to take that argument, does it mean that team in transitions have to fall to the worst point in the history of a team? Are transitions supposed to be disastrous? No. I don't remember that. Transition was 12-13 when suddenly all of your players left. In Dravid, Lakshman, Sachin, all in a span of a year had all gone. But that team went undefeated at home for a decade. More than that, they didn't have that problem. You had 4-0, 4-0 defeats, then England beating you here. They had a transition, and that team that transitioned,
they managed to become a good test team.
Yeah, they didn't have to. My point is, transition does not mean you have to go through a painful period. Does not mean. The transition previous to that was, at the height of match fixing in 2000, your captain changed, a lot of your players went out. Transition wasn't as painful.
You were winning at home even then?
Yes. I mean, winning abroad was an issue, winning at home. So I cannot believe transition is being spoken of, because if it is factually incorrect. And as I said, even if you have to assume that it is transition, you cannot fall to your lowest point in test cricket. And if transition, you're blaming it on transition, I don't even think that's fair. A, transition is not there. B, even if its transition is there, it doesn't justify that you have and transitions are supposed to be made smooth. That's what your job is. And if you see that it is not the right time to transition, and that's the whole think tank put together, whether it is coach, captain, selectors, everyone, then don't go through a transition. Don't force the transition if you think you're not good enough. All of it, the buck has to stop at something. You can't use words and just leave it in the air and no one take responsibility for it. I think it needs to be addressed. That is the first bit. Second bit is what I hear, which you said, Ashwin also said, Mr. Gavaskar said on our platform, many people there are saying it, that blame the players. So that's it. We blame the players and that's it.
I don't.
If BCCI is taking no action, we are trying to get to the bottom of it, so that as well-wishers of Indian cricket, as people who are invested in Indian cricket, we can find a solution. So let's blame the players and accept that we don't have players, and that's the solution.
That's not a solution either. I mean, we've seen in other sports as well, football being a notable example, that sometimes a team will suddenly start slumping. Does that mean the team is bad? You'll see top class players suddenly start being able to not play properly. Does that mean the team is suddenly gone bad? Does that mean you change the whole team? No, you don't change the whole team. Similarly, I'm not going to buy this excuse that these are players who don't know how to play test cricket anymore. Not true at all. These are players who are skilled players. These are players who have experience. I refuse to believe that they suddenly lost the ability to play test cricket. How have they suddenly become bad? How is a Dhruv Jurel, whose batting form in this year itself was so good that we were advocating him playing as a pure batter even in the presence of Rishabh Pant? How did he suddenly have such bad knocks? How did Pant's recklessness, or dare I say sometimes his counter-attacking, cross that fine line from just being counter-attacking to reckless? How is it that suddenly a Kuldeep doesn't seem as effective at times? Is that down to skill? I don't think so. Is it down to they've suddenly all forgotten how to play?
No.
I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe any team works.
So where does the buck stop then?
The buck stops
if this has happened. I agree that some of the players that Shane has mentioned, I don't think that they are not skillful test players. They are. They're skillful test players. They did well in England, and people say that England they did well and now you're blaming. That's precisely the point. That these players have the skill. It's not that they didn't, some of them. Or why isn't that they're putting it together? And for that, it is the responsibility of the coach in that sense. It is my job as the coach to bring the best out of my players. These are, if I'm the coach and if you've given me a bunch of players who cannot stand for 10 minutes and play, I'll say, what can I do? You gave a football manager, you give me players who just have not ever performed and they don't go and do well. I as a coach can say, if this is the team you're going to give me, then this is the result you'll get. I can't with this team because these players have not done nothing in their lives ever. They're not capable of playing such high quality football. How do I win? But as we've pointed out, some of the players that have played here have shown you in tougher conditions, against tougher oppositions, in different times have done well. What is it that led to them being totally clueless in these circumstances? I can't believe that this is a batting lineup that can be folded up for 140 or be folded up for 200. This is not that batting lineup. All these batters have done well. I can't believe that this is the bowling lineup that will allow South Africa to get 489 in the first inning and 400 runs in the second innings, even though the pitch is deteriorating. This is where questions need to be asked. Who's responsible for that? If the team management is not, then I don't know who is. So you say, because some of them are saying the coach cannot go out and bat and ball. Completely agree with you on that. But the job is exactly that, to get them in the right frame of mind. I don't know what is led to them underperforming like this. Who's going to be answering for that? And this is what you need to get to the depth of. That is the prior issue. And I go back to the players. And if you do think there are certain players who even we've raised questions about, there are certain players, then you're saying this is the players, why are you blaming the coach? You should blame the players. Then why are you selecting those players if they're not good enough for test cricket? What about the players that are doing well in red ball cricket? Nobody is stopping you as coach and selectors to bring those players in. You're bringing them in. Now answer. If I'm the BCCI, I make them sit that you're saying these players are not good enough, but you asked for these players. You have asked for these players. I would have also told you that on what basis will you play a Sai Sudarshan, a Nitish Kumar Reddy or a Washington Sundar, because in red ball cricket and domestic cricket they have not done, but you asked for it. Somebody has to answer. You can't say please question the players. Fine, if you think the players are not good enough, why did you have them? Could have picked players who have done well in that format. You have not done that.
In fact, these are actually a lot of the players who there are big question marks over are the ones who the team management have insisted should get long ropes and are developing. Nitish Kumar Reddy, Sai Sudarshan, who I don't know what the team sees in, despite the fact, I know he's had good IPLs, fair. But then that doesn't mean I reward him by giving him a test cricket call-up for that. A 38 average tells you a lot. And especially in today's day and age where I dare say even in Ranji Trophy cricket, the pitches are a little more on the benign side.
Josh Butler has good IPLs. He's not playing test cricket now for England.
No. And they tried with him. They really tried with him. Same with the Johnny Bairstow. He'd show flashes. But then when it didn't work out, they said, no, boss, sorry. Then
Tim David is playing very good in the IPL.
He should be playing test cricket for Australia then. Marcus Stoinis also. Glenn Maxwell.
Temba Bavuma does not play the IPL.
He barely plays even SA20. First SA20 auction he went unsold, but brought in as a replacement player.
No, but that's why I'm saying you can't brush this under the carpet. I think this is where you need to answer the question. The other thing that I'm hearing is, as I said, we're going to be bursting a few myths that we're hearing. Is that, what did you say? What is the BCCI said about the contract?
They said that there's no chance of him there's no threat to his role for the moment. As of now, there is nothing. In fact, you can flash that quote.
No, I don't want to see
that. And what they've also said is that no, this is a team in rebuild and he's got a contract till 2027.
No, but my point is, if you are, why have you, wasn't this told to you as well?
It was, yes.
So why wouldn't you write your own name? Isn't it?
Yes.
It was told to you guys, so...
But the problem is contract. Is that really going to be an excuse?
No, my thing is the contract is there, but the contract can always be...
terminated.
Greg Chappell's contract was terminated after you didn't do well in the 2007 World Cup. One is that you can... My point is, I agree, the contract is there till 2027 for the 50-over World Cup, and I think you should not tinker with the T20 team and the 50-over team. I think the same coaching staff should stay, because the other excuse I'm getting is that, why are you not looking at the successes? I don't take anything away in terms of successes, whether it's the Asia Cup or the Champions Trophy, but that came in white ball cricket. And I agree that now is too late to be making any changes in white ball cricket. So I think the coach should stay in T20 cricket, should stay till the 2027 World Cup. But we're not talking about T20 cricket. Or what stops you from being the custodians of the game to fix the problem? The problem lies in Test cricket. And if there are enough problems that people are highlighting, whether it's selection or the thought process, which by the way has changed just now, that wasn't the way that you were playing Test cricket previously. It's only changed now. You need to fix that. So I think those changes need to be made in Test match cricket. How is it that you're giving the example of the 2027 World Cup? That's fine. Keep that contract there. Nobody's asking you to change, and I wouldn't want that to change because that is going to be detrimental to your team. So keep that. But the problem is you need to fix Test cricket. And if for that you need to change the support staff for Test cricket, so that you can be on the correct path, then so be it. Please change that. Why are you mixing the two things and creating a smoke screen and giving us that this contract, let the contract run till 2027 World Cup. In Test cricket, have a different coach or whatever.
I mean, this is a team management, and I don't quite understand why that is the case. They are reticent to, I don't know, split whether it be coaching, split whether it be captaincy. What is this obsession with all format this and all format that? I don't get it. Tests, ODIs and T20s are three different formats that require three very different kind of skill sets.
So will you now, I'm just saying, Rohit Sharma had a fantastic, no I'm just saying, you're mixing format for the coaching staff, because that's what BCCI. Rohit Sharma has had a fantastic ODI time, no?
Should we call him back?
Yeah, so then BCCI should convince him to come back into Test cricket, nah? Why? Because look at his successes there. You're not doing that. Are we saying that it should be done? No. I think the Test team has gone in its different path. Let it continue, but fix the whole. You're not doing that for players. You select players basis on their performances. If you had a word with Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli saying that your time is done in Test match or you'll have to think about your future, that was basis their Test cricket. So you were ready to separate the formats there and look at them differently. Or you had kind of told them that 2020 World Cup was their last chance to win it or not. But they got runs there. You didn't say, they can continue.
In fact, lest we forget, we're talking about differentiating formats. We tend to forget the fact that they were dropped for the best part of a year also in T20s. They didn't play. Why? Because you were considering and looking at them differently for different formats. So 2023, the focus, sure, it was on ODIs. Sure, prior to that, the focus was on the WTC final. But pretty much the messaging that was given was that you are looking beyond them, slowly but surely. Yeah, sure, then you had that whole U-turn, you brought them back, they won, yada yada, all well and good. But that time you were looking beyond them. Now suddenly where this obsession for all format? Now suddenly where this obsession for that everyone, if you're having a coaching staff, then this exact same head coach must be presiding over all formats. The exact same support staff he must be presiding over all formats. I don't understand it.
See, again, I as I said at the start of the program, that it is nothing, that is personal. By the way, I must tell you that because a lot of people are pointing fingers at Gautam Gambhir, I don't think that Gautam Gambhir plays any favorites. I know this for a fact. I know him as a person. I know him that he's not the kind of guy, because a lot of times he's unfairly criticized for playing favorites, that his favorite. No. I think he genuinely, he's been like that as a player. I've seen him fight for players at domestic level who he's not known them, but he's seen talent, so he's fought for them.
Navdeep Saini.
Yeah, many others like that. So I don't think that he's picking teams because he's playing favorites. I don't think he's that kind of a guy. I've known him very well, and I can say that from the bottom of my heart that he always has the best interest of Indian cricket at mind. The reason I'm saying that there lies a problem and you need to de-link is because his thought process and his intentions, as good as they may be, are not working for Indian Test cricket. And that's why I'm saying you need to de-link. I think he said it in his own words, where he said, I am not important, Indian cricket is important. And I know that in Gautam's case, it's not lip service. When he says it, he genuinely means it. And that's why I'm saying, for a person like that who's ready to put his country first or the team first more than himself, I think if you are BCCI and you had the conversation and saying, for the sake of the team and for the sake of Indian Test cricket, I think maybe we need to find a different direction so that we can go forward. I don't think he's going to take it amiss. Could say that, listen, I think you're the right person to take care of the white ball format, the results there to show, and the kind of things that you're doing are bearing fruits as well. But in test match cricket, I'm not saying from now, from BGT onwards, there are these signs where everyone is pointing out you're taking a wrong direction. Those are your thoughts. I'm not saying there is any bad intention in that. But those thoughts are not bearing the fruits. Those thoughts are not translating into good results or a path where we can be successful in the future. I'm afraid it's not gelling with what or how our test cricket would go. So in that sense, for the sake of the team, I think we need to find a different person. I don't think there is, as I said, I've shared a very close relationship with him. I've known him as a player and I have the highest regard for him of being an upright person who does the things the right way, who is a good cricketing mind. He's a gutsy cricketer, in tough situations has stood up. And I'm saying that as well. You know, he is, I don't know how he must be feeling. He must be feeling probably worse than the players, because knowing the kind of personality he is, his opposite number came out and said that we'll make them grovel, go them on the knees. And right after that, you've gone and folded up for 140. The least he would have expected his team was to fight it out. So I'm saying in a scenario like that, if I'm in his place also and I want the best of India, probably I would move away and saying, you know, no, this is not the bunch of players with I can move forward, or maybe the ideas that I had is not working and somebody else needs to take it forward. Again, I go back to it saying, for the sake of the team, you ask me now, it's not the problem with players or techniques, because the other argument comes, oh, we're focusing on IPL. Why? Boss, IPL has been there for 18 years. And during that 18-year period, you've been the best test team. You've played 2 WTC finals. You could have done better in those finals had you not make those selection blunders as well. But there have been times where you've dominated in England, you've gone to Australia in those phases, done well, tied series in South Africa. And at home, though, nobody could even come close to beating you. So it's all happened while the IPL was there. The thing is, you were selecting horses for courses for test and different horses for white ball. Your thought process of playing test cricket was traditional, red ball like. Your way of playing white ball at one time was ancient, and then you improved and then you became white ball champions as well. So I don't think India, because there's this argument that we don't take our red ball seriously, I don't buy that. There are a lot of cricketers in India who take red ball seriously. They're playing domestic cricket day in and day out. They're scoring runs there. The problem lies in the management by not looking at them, by looking at white ball players. So IPL is not a problem. White ball cricket is not a problem. We have enough talent pool in red ball cricket also from which you can select. It's how you are selecting teams, how you're playing cricket, the kind of combinations you're making, the multiple changes in batting order you're doing like white ball cricket. That's where the problem lies, and not so much with the structure of Indian cricket. I think Indian cricket structure is good enough. It is still turning out player. All you need, it's not a, see, I would say that for West Indies, they need structural changes to change their cricket. A lot need to be done. Please don't tell me Indian cricket needs to go through that. It's fine. The ecosystem is fine. You'll have players. Just a tweak in the mindset. The people who are taking the calls, just a tweak in the mindset. Change that mindset, I think you'll get results. I still think teams will struggle. They were struggling till a short while ago. Before 12 months, they were also struggling. England came with all the basball thing, got beaten 3-1, 4-1, whatever, 4-1, and they were sent home. That's changed. Something has changed, no, the last 12 months. And that can't be IPL. That cannot be white ball cricket.
See, I think one thing which is worth noting, and I was just going through a little bit of research, is you're talking about an ecosystem being there, which is absolutely correct. Ranji Trophy is alive and kicking in terms of how the tournament is consistently going on, and there's matches there's plenty of cricket there for everyone to play. But just look at some of these names who are scoring runs, and you'll never hear them even discuss for an India call-up.
Yeah.
In fact, of the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Give us names.
I'll give you some names. In fact, some of these names are players whose names many of our viewers may not have even heard of. So there's a Yash Rathore, who was the highest run getter, 2024-25, 960 runs in 18 innings. Is he anywhere close to an India call-up right now? there is Shubham Sharma for MP. He had, let's see, he got how many? What was his runs? Yeah, 943 runs in 12 innings. That's phenomenal. Is he anywhere close to even being up there for an Indian team? In fact, of this top 10, the only player who actually got a chance was Karan Nair, who's fourth on the list. Karan Nair was fourth on the list, and you kicked him out after one series, saying, "Oh, we can't give unlimited opportunities." That's not true. You have given those who you wanted to play have gotten unlimited opportunities. So it's a different strokes for different folks sort of a mentality. Your ecosystem is there. If there are players who are getting 900 odd runs, there's in fact 3 players, the top 3, all of them had 900 plus. Karan Nair is 4th with 863. You're talking about an ecosystem. Shardul Thakur had 500 runs last year in Ranji Trophy cricket. He's discounted as an all-rounder now for reasons I don't really know. What's the rationale? Are you trying to go young? Is that the team you're trying to build? But even then, there are problems also. It can't just be all youth. You can't do that. You need experienced players. You need seasoned veterans, battle-hardened veterans to win Test cricket.
Yeah.
Where are those guys? Those guys are there, but they're being undermined. Those guys are there. Someone like a Yash Rathore is 30. They're there. They've been going through the hard grind.
And see, sometimes you have to take some of these numbers with pinch of salt, because a lot of your runs, you're playing in a plate division, you're playing against a lot of Northeast teams, so easy runs or for all that, I agree. But as I said, there are certain names that on top of I know who have been getting runs you don't consider. Sarfraz is that one case. Whatever be the thing you're not doing. Sheikh Rashid is that. Baba Aparijit is that. They're all playing, top level cricket. They're getting runs.
Last
season
season there was a Jagadisan from Tamil Nadu was getting good runs.
You've thought of him. He's in the scheme of things at least in the A team. But you have to, again, Abhimanyu Ishwaran was the one who never played him. He did come into the setup, but you never played him. He got runs. You're not looking at that. So in 20 odd average, you pick players. First class cricket average is Nitish Kumar Reddy, some 20 odd. He came because you need a fast bowling all-rounder. It doesn't work like that. Don't try and manufacture players. That's been an issue. That's why I'm saying you need to change, just tweak the mindset. Indian cricket has not gone the way of West Indies, where everything is wrong. You don't need to do that. You don't have to overthink it, at least I think. Even
Sri Lanka, for that matter, is a good example, because the club system there is very broken.
Yeah.
There's just so many clubs and there's just not enough talent that's coming through those clubs.
But I think the talent is not the problem.
Yeah.
It's who we're playing. It's who we're playing and how we are approaching Test cricket. That's the problem. Vishal joins us from the US. He says, help Indian Test fan make sense. GD played in Test era, Test team built on specialists. So why lean towards white ball players all rounders? A very good question, Vishal. I wouldn't understand. That's what I'm saying. And GD was a hard as a nail sort of a Test player. Like he would grind it out. I was there in Napier. I saw that Test match.
Correct.
And imagine with this, the character that GG would have, if the opposition coach said, we'll make them growl, he would not leave the crease. He'll put his life on the line and would have batted in similar situation if he was playing this Test match. India wouldn't have won, but they would have held their heads high with walking off with a draw and frustrating the South African. They would have shown some character.
You saw none here. None whatsoever.
Nothing.
In fact, Mr. Craig Chappell himself questioning transition. KL, Bumrah, Pant, Siraj, Gill, Akshar, Jaiswal. 7 proven world-class players given to you by previous regimes. Removing Shami was your call. 2 home whitewashers is unacceptable.
Yeah. Again, you have to also explain. You're going after players for whatever the reason. But he's doing, you wanted them to play domestic cricket. Shami is playing domestic cricket. He's saying, I'm fit. He's showing you he's fit.
Ishan Kishan is not playing domestic cricket. He's playing plenty of domestic cricket. But he's fallen off the radar entirely after that contract.
Ishan was getting a look in. If you remember, they were bringing him back. He got injured again. He was being looked at when there were a few injuries in the recent past. He was injured again.
Yeah, because he was playing a lot of domestic cricket from what I remember. In fact, it says everything. And I was wondering this. He was not even considered for ODI cricket. Lest we forget, he is a double centurion in ODI cricket.
Yeah.
You've got him on the bench. Or not even on the bench. He's nowhere close.
Yeah. Gaurav says 2 messiahs. McCullum and Gigi who want to change Test match. No wonder India versus England was a draw. Equally good or bad. Kind of agree with you. Both shown places by Australia how to play. Actually, the 2 best teams are Australia and South Africa today.
Yeah.
Now is right about the correct time to be having a South Africa-Australia series. Wow, what a contest that's going to be.
That'll be something. 3 tests which they'll play. That'll be really phenomenal. Doggy Daniel says, post 2011, minimum of 40 test matches. There's no Indian batter who's averaging about 45 except Virat. You had the likes of Pujara, Rohit, Ajinkya, Pant, Gill, KL, even Dhawan, all below 45. Sad.
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. Now your number 1 or number 2 opener, whatever, is played 67 test matches with that average.
Averaging mid-30s.
Yeah, your number 3, you were selecting with a 30 odd first class average, first class cricket. You were making him long term number 3. Then you pushed him and you got Washi to come, who also has a 30 odd average in red ball cricket in first class matches. So what do? I agree. Standards have really fallen. It's not that you don't have players with higher averages. You do. You're not considering them.
I mean, and this has been not a new problem. The likes of Faiz Fazals and Priyank Panchals of the world never got a look in. And they were consistently piling on runs in domestic cricket.
Yeah.
Nowhere to be seen. Sarfaraz, you thought, was breaking the mold a little bit. But he's been put back in his place. Karun Nair, one series, you discarded him. And I think he's himself kind of done by the amount of public statements he makes. In a regime that hates criticism, you've criticized them not once but twice. Good luck. So Dikshita says that Virat and Rohit's careers, leaks and the retirements doubled the hate towards Gigi rightly. Look, I don't know if rightly or not, but I do think that at this point, if you've made that big a call of where it reached a point where these senior players, stalwart players are being questioned and told perform or perish, well, the players are gone and you are now neither being able to perform or perish, then questions will be asked.
Yeah.
So you've got Deepak Gopalakrishnan saying, we should play the best players in Ranji, both batsmen and bowlers, for tests in India. Under Gill and in Sena countries, the current players can play as they perform better there. What do you think? I don't know.
I mean,
I know people get skewed by the England performance, but you had flattest pancake pitches over there also. Not all of them were challenging. In fact, the majority of them I'd argue were not.
Deepak, I think this is a very radical idea. I don't think you can do that. When I mean de-link tests from white ball, I now don't want to de-link Sena test versus India test. You just can't do that. I think you need to, find the balance. Some of your players are match winners. Your Kuldeeps, the Sirajes, the Bumrahs. They walk into your test team without any doubt, or a Shubman Gill, or even a Yashasvi Jaiswal. I'm ready to, invest in him for a long term. But the rest of the players, you need a middle order. I mean, Pant will be there. You need a few other middle order batters that are playing red ball cricket. I think Karun Nair was done away with too quickly. Sarfaraz showed promise. He's been let go of. I'm happy that you can back a bit of Jurel as well, but give him that confidence. Have him. I think he has the makings of being a good test batter. So you have those players to work with, provided you go, and then you get your best spinners also to play. As I said, South Africa played their best spinner. Simon Harmer is the best spinner off spinner in the country they played. You're not doing that, no. You're playing an off spinner who can give you something with the bat. Washington Sundar is a fantastic gutsy batter who will get you crucial runs lower down the order, but he can't then be playing as your premier off spinner. You on a good pitch, you get in. I'm just saying, if you had a Harbhajan Singh on that, there's no chance he would have looked inferior to a Harmer.
No chance.
He would have picked as many wickets. He would have troubled the South Africans on this pitch in Guwahati as well. It's not that he's not picked, previously when he used to be playing, you had similar pitches like this, not gaddas, but he would find a way. He would win test matches for India, get Australia wickets, would get South African wickets, I remember. It was man of the match, one test match against South Africa in Kanpur. I got man of the match on flat tracks.
Sporting decks.
Because you played your best off spinner. You didn't see how many runs he gets.
Then you've got Doggy Daniel again saying, Nikhil, if Virat is playing 2027 World Cup, then he can come back in test. Stokes, de Kock all came back. If you were the BCCI president, would you ring Virat to come in?
I would have, Doggy, completely, I would have rang up Virat when he was deciding to retire as well. I don't think anyone really does that. Now BCCI comes and says, that's not our call, players decide, we don't do. Agreed. I don't think, anyone decided for Virat. He decided. But I'm saying sometime you speak to a person, find out what is it that's, and I'm saying even if let's say he's feeling a bit tired, he feels he's done. A sports person reaches that sort of a scenario. If I think he can contribute, I pick up the phone and say, no, you may be feeling you're done and dusted, but we need you. Think it happens. It happens. Like I was just having a discussion before we started. I was feeling a bit, worn out, tired. It's been non-stop work for a long time. And, I'll reach a stage where I'll say, no, I'm done. But if my office calls up and says, no, we need you, we can't do a show without you, you'll really add to it, come, you push yourself, you think, no, I'm needed. Maybe I can make a difference and maybe they need me at that moment. You'll go and you'll do it. You will, no matter how exhausting it is. We reached that in our careers sometime. At least I did. I reached a midlife crisis of sorts in my life where I thought that I need to do something else. I want to spend more time with my family. Journalism takes out a lot from you. But if my boss picked up the phone and called me saying, no, you can't do that. You need to push yourself. It's just a short phase. Get over it. I can change my mind. It can. And I would do that. I think in Virat's case, I've said it before, if I was in his place, I knew the environment wasn't great. I'm sure he felt let down at some point. Runs were also not coming. Let's accept that. There was criticism from all around. I would have developed a thick skin and said, I'll try one more time. I'll try till the time where I reach where they think you're done. We don't want you anymore. Fine. As bitter a pill as it would have been for me to swallow, fine, I would have at least pushed myself till then. Even now, I don't know. Again, I'm not saying that that's the answer. For not once, I've said it before that I believe in this young team. There is enough talent in India to take you forward. But focus on that talent. Get your thought process right for Test cricket. That's something that you're not doing.
Absolutely. Also, it was Gaurav who said that yesterday he was the one who gave you the numbers. India have had players, they've had 389 games under their belt combined with 6 players who have played over 25 games vis-a-vis South Africa, 322 games with 4 players who have played more than 25 games.
Yeah.
So that's the number.
Yeah.
That's the number.
Yeah.
Transition?
Yeah.
Can't be saying it.
Yeah.
Can't be saying it. Also, he has another one. He's saying that you said Gigi doesn't have partiality, but can you explain why Harshit Rana didn't play till the mega auction retention did?
Yeah, Gaurav, I'll agree with you. By the way, that's something that we pointed out. I did think that was a miss. But I'm saying in general, see, listen, you guys have not known him personally. I have. So I can tell you a few things. And again, if you've seen the program, I've not minced my word. I've said it in as many words that you need a change of coach in Test match cricket. So I'm not trying to, safeguard somebody else's interest, but it's my fact to be truthful, and my loyalties lie with my viewer. So just as I'm being truthful that personally I think you need a change of Test thinking, similarly I'm also telling you the other side of Gautam. I need to give you both sides of the story, and I've seen that side. I'm just telling you again, like it or not, there are very few people as courageous as him in certain things that he's done. This is a story which has not come out, but I know of this story. When he's going through a bad phase, he went to Australia to train with Justin Langer. He needed to fix certain things about it. And Justin Langer said, okay, for a short pitch delivery, he said, okay, I'll have a bowling machine that will bowl at 150 clicks, okay? And if you really want to fix your problem, you take off your helmet and play the short pitch deliveries that I'll aim to your face. But he said, this is a drill that I don't think I will do it, or I tell everyone to do it, but this can fix that problem. It's entirely up to you. You are absolutely within your rights to say no. He said, no, I'll do it. And he did it. You know what can happen, right? One ball
is enough.
Forget about ending a career, can put a full
it's
stop
funny
here.
You mentioned it. Today is 27th November.
Correct.
The anniversary of Phil Hughes.
Phil Hughes. There you go. He took that challenge. I'm saying talk is cheap, but you got to do it. So I'm saying there is that side to him as well. And I know this for a fact that he is quite a patriot. He genuinely wants to put, sometimes people make memes of him and say that, oh, he's just jealous of XYZ players, and But quite honestly, there are times where I've seen it in domestic, where he's pushed himself back and said, no, I don't deserve this, XYZ.
IPL, Delhi Daredevils, Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah, exactly. He sat himself out as captain.
In fact,
dropped himself.
A lot of people will not remember this, but even in 2014, when KKR won their second IPL title, that was also under Gautam's captaincy. I think the first 3 or 4 games, he got ducks.
Yeah.
And I think for a game or two, he sat himself out.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's done that.
It's, from outside it says, so what, he wasn't getting runs, you don't do it. Easier said than done. Nobody does it. Nobody does it. I give another example. There was this one moment where young Virat Kohli, he gave him his man of the match.
Yeah.
He
Sri
said
Lanka.
no. Yes. Yeah. He said he's... So again, there are qualities about him. It's not just that he's playing for the galleries. There's certain things he really walks the talk. And I like those qualities about him. But that does not mean that everything about him is something that we'll agree with. Or I think at this moment, if I'm being objective, as I said, my loyalties first lie to our viewers. That's what they tune into for an unbiased opinion. We try to do it. A lot of time you allege that we are being biased. I take it with a pinch of salt, but at least that's not our intention with what we say. So there are certain things I genuinely love about Gautam, and I'm a fan of those things. But if I do see there's something that's not really, correct, then we point that out.
If it's not working out, you can't say that, there are things about him which were great as a player, so we'll let it work out as coach. Yeah. If it's not working out as a coach, no one's calling for his head in white ball cricket. He's done fine there.
I'm saying that he should be a coach till 2027.
Keep him till 2026 and 2027. Take a call after that if he feels like continuing, or if you feel you want to go a different direction. It's a whole different matter. My point being, though, has it worked out in Test cricket? It hasn't. If your biggest results in Test cricket in a space of a year plus are series wins against Bangladesh and West Indies, then it ain't working out. Because let's face it, even I can coach these players to wins to Bangladesh and West Indies. You don't need a coach. You can keep that chair vacant and they'll still go and win a Test match or a Test series against those nations. But it hasn't worked out against big teams. Your tactics are not working out. It is what it is. You call a spade there. Sitush Vetank. Hope I'm getting that right.
Sitush Vetank.
Yeah, I really hope I'm getting that right.
Yeah.
Says, will GG/AA, so that's Gautam or Ajit Agarkar, still keep nudging ODI specialists/Regins, Rowe and co out of the ODI format unless their form goes south? This is learning or try not to fix what is not broken.
Yeah. You and Vikas Kohli are on the same
page. Yeah.
Though he's deleted that post.
You and a now deleted post from Vikas Kohli.
But I say that I said this before the ODI series started in Australia, that if I was Rohit and I was Virat, I'm not leaving ODI cricket.
Yeah.
I'll go, I'll play, I'll score runs. If I don't score runs, you'll let me go anyway.
Correct.
I can't do anything. But I'm not leaving. I'm playing. I'm going to go there determined. I'm going to go score runs. If I have a dream to play till 2027, nobody can take that dream away from me. I'm going to go keep playing. If runs don't come anyway, what can you do?
Then it is a results business.
Yeah.
Then you can make a hard call and say that no.
But don't make the path easy for anyone.
Even the legends or even the younger players.
Yeah. No, I'm saying for the BCCI to take that call for you. I'm not going to make that easy.
No, I will fight. In fact, I believe they should have done that for Test cricket also. Yeah. It was 1 or 2 bad series. New Zealand, everyone struggled. Let's be fair. Those were bad pitches which you made. You struggled there. In Australia, I do believe you came up against a team that was just far superior to you in all ways. You didn't help yourself with muddled kind of team selections that made no sense. Fine, you had a bad series individually. Rohit didn't get runs. In fact, I dare say messed up team order more often than not. Kohli, 4th stump, was gone. But work on that issue.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping you from doing that.
Vishal from the US says, do you think someone above GG is taking decisions? I don't think so.
No, I think he's an empowered head coach. I mean,
and that's how it should be.
Do you guys remember, again, I don't know if it's short memories or whatever, but I remember how aggressively he was pursued after the 2024 IPL. They are not going to bring in this thing just to keep him there as a placeholder and say, no, we are running the shots, you go be our public face. That is not Gambhir. This is the same Gambhir who was allegedly basically handed a blank check by Shah Rukh, who owns KKR and was told that, listen, you stay here, I will pay you whatever you want. You stay here. or even when they were trying to get him on board, was basically told, please come on board. Money not an issue. Someone who's highly coveted. The BCCI coveted him highly. I don't think they're just going to be telling him, no, you go out there and take the bullets. We'll run the shots. This is Gambhir's team. I can say that he's probably the most empowered head coach in recent memory. I do not recall a head coach being this
and
empowered.
nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's how
I'm just calling the spade a spade. I'm saying I don't remember a head coach being this empowered. Rahul Dravid was very much a backseat kind of a guy. He was a chill guy. He stayed behind. He let Rohit run the calls. Gave elderly statesmen advice when asked for. Shastri was more bombastic. But let's not make any mistakes. That was Virat Kohli's team.
Yeah.
You never said that was Ravi Shastri's team. You said it was Virat Kohli's team. But do we call this team Shubman Gill's team? No. Do we call it Surya Kumar Yadav's team in T20s? Oh, no, sir. We call it Gambhir's team. Why? Because as I said, he's the most empowered head coach in recent memory. I do not remember a head coach being more empowered since probably Greg Chappell. Yeah. Even Kirsten was someone who was very much a backseat kind of a guy. Duncan Fletcher was way too chill.
Yeah.
But other than that, as I said, I cannot remember a coach being more empowered. So there's no one above him is taking any decisions. He's very much part and parcel of it.
Yeah. Kevin Kumar from the UK says, BCCI should have players meeting about coach. I think it's a very good idea, Kevin. Why not? If you can have a review meeting for the players, you can have it. Yeah, I think you should. See, that's why I say we started the show by saying, I'm shocked if they don't take a decision, because you need to find a solution. Meet everyone from within that setup, but reach some sort of a consensus in what is the way forward in fixing your cricket.
Correct. So you've got Mikey King saying India lost 4 test series at home in last 21 years. GG was the common factor in all. 2004 Australia, 2012 England, 2024 New Zealand, 2025 South Africa. Lack of prep by players and GG mindset. Yeah, is it fair to blame him for 2004?
No, I would not. But my point is, 2004 was a lot of internal politics. Australia were a very good team, and I think had you not served up a pitch like that in Nagpur, who knows where that series would have gone. But anyway, that's another debate. But right now, I agree. And this is exactly what Mikey Weave kind of summed up to, that it's not suddenly that you've become a bad test playing nation. It's just that you've veered away from how to play test cricket. You need to be brought back into that road. That's all.
We thought they had done that a little bit.
No, yeah.
Because I remember when we used to complain, and I remember this because we talk about bad pitches. They turned that around for England. And you're like, okay, great, they've turned a corner. Then a regime change happened, and then they went right back to what was not working.
But I then blame, again, you were talking about players' skills. I'm just, if I was to defend the players in that sense, how are they going to have skills? Because they now don't know in spinning conditions that you have to bat long also. Because the kind of pitches that you had been serving up.
Lotteries.
Yeah, where 30 balls used to be enough. You got enough runs because your totals only used to be 200 runs. So you've contributed with 30, 40. That was amazing. When you need to get 500 runs, that's where you learn that. But how will it suddenly come?
And the
you have to keep giving them those test pitches, regularly to play.
Correct. And the same goes for the bowlers. My one biggest complaint with all the bowlers is they kept bowling it fast.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you bowling it fast? This isn't a rank turner. No, rank turner, which is turning square from day one, you can chuck it on fast because the turn then is generated by the pitch, not you.
Jadeja Akshar unplayable in those situations.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Even a Washington in those conditions would look like Muralidharan. My point is that they are then suited to that. You've trained them to that. You've trained them. You've forgotten how to get drift, how to change your release points, how to get revs on the ball. All of that is gone.
What Hama was doing.
Hama was doing it. Keshav was doing it. Muthuswamy in the limited time he was bowling was doing it. You weren't. That's a fact. Rakesh Bhushan said GG was onboarded to remove star culture, but he removed test culture completely. Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Dark but true.
Can't argue with that, Rakesh.
Yes. So you've got Faraz Ahmed then said that India have most test wins since 2010. In sport, you get more bad days than good, and we're lucky to have this team. But to me, the management's decisions have cost more than the players in this regime.
Faraz, I think you're...
Nothing more to add.
Yeah, we're on the same page as you, and that's exactly what we've been discussing.
Rakesh Bhushan again saying, Gigi the other day said, don't celebrate individual milestones in a losing cause, and he was hinting at Rohit and Kohli. Now don't play to the gallery is towards Pant. Why is he picking his own player publicly? Isn't a closed door meeting an option for Gigi? I agree.
What was the...
I don't understand what the Pant thing was, but I do feel like there has been a lot of chatter about it. I don't know why. Did he say anything publicly? Nothing directly.
No. He said that he did say in the press conference about players also need to have that skill and not play to the galleries. He said that, and a lot of people thought that that was a direct attack at Rishabh Pant because he did play a shot like that, which was playing to the gallery. So
it takes me back a little bit also to, what do you remember? I think it was when it was during the BGT only where that whole closed door meeting happened.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. At that time also there was a lot of talk that it was triggered potentially by Pant playing a reckless shot.
Yeah.
Takes me back to that. But that's really unfair. It's really unfair.
That's why I'm saying, see, Pant has not become a bad test player overnight, right? That's what I'm saying. You have to get into that dressing room to find out what the atmosphere of that dressing room is. That he's playing like that.
Where is this malaise coming from?
Unarguably your best wicketkeeper batter in your history of test cricket. But that's why I'm saying there is something seriously wrong, which is why and then BCCI says what they say, what can you do? This is what it is, no major changes. Then if it was a government elected by fans, I'm sure they would have been voted out. BCCI for saying something like this.
You'd change the office bearers overnight. You'd call for emergency elections at that point in time. You've got IIT and Rima saying that the heart aches to see Virat quit test at 36. VK is the best ever bat of white ball, poster boy for Indian cricket, but loved test cricket. Our best test captain, lost 2 home tests in 7 years and had all guys of his age in 2014 transition.
See, I would have to see again, his retirement was his own call, but I have to agree that one thing I will say that Virat genuinely put test cricket at a pedestal. Yeah. Again, he, imagine that IPL title he won and something that people would joke about. We knew how desperate he was to win that. Yet, on that day itself, he reminded people about test cricket. And you can see that in his energy when he plays test cricket. Again, I'll say one thing. It's not easy when he gave up that test captaincy. We all know under what circumstances he did. Yet, this is what I'll give him credit for. That test captaincy was very easy for you as a senior player to just lose a bit of interest and just be a bit selfish and concentrate on your batting. He still used to be the chirpiest of the lot, fielding full on energy, celebrating everyone's wicket.
Sometimes you'd see
genuinely
him
giving
tactical advice as well.
Yes.
He may have stopped being the captain, but he never stopped being a leader.
100%.
And that came from that interest or that care for the format, for the sport.
Agreed.
Came from nowhere else. And you saw it even in ODIs. There were times, because obviously the Indian ODI team had so many stalwarts, you'd sometimes see it wasn't always Rohit leading the team talks. Yeah. Kohli would be leading them, or Bumrah would lead them. It's not like they didn't have leaders. So again, with Virat, just as that example, the leadership never left him.
I completely agree. That I think and that's what pains you, right? He let go of test cricket in the manner that he did. I know it wouldn't have been easy for him.
It was a bolt from the blue. And I remember, I dare say it got buried a little bit, the news, mainly because it came at a time when you thought the country would potentially be heading to war.
Yeah.
Because it came at that time, the news kind of really got buried.
True.
Because if it had to happen at any other time, I think we'd be talking about nothing else for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That would have been how monumental it was. You've got Karthik Jethwa saying, trolls hate toxicity everywhere, I'm sending love. Well, Karthik,
Thank you, Karthik.
Right back at you.
Thank you so much. Sending all the love back to you. And this is a time in Indian cricket where you need a lot of love.
Absolutely.
Gaurav is back again. He says, just for fun, Q&A with Gigi for test his answers. RS or Viru?
Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli? KL. Pujara or Dravid? Washington Sundar. Virat or Sachin? Sai Sudarshan. Zach or Bumrah? Harshad Rana.
Okay, Gaurav.
The funnies continue.
Raj from NYC
says every time we lose, we start talking about Ranji Trophy. Raj, okay, fair point. Yeah. But I've been talking about Ranji Trophy. I know we on this platform have been talking about Ranji Trophy for ages. We've saying that on one hand, and see, this is where it's funny, right? On one hand, I remember when you won that England series, you're announcing these incentivized contracts that the more games you play, the more money you make and this, that. All that's well and good. My point is, why aren't you selecting those guys then who are doing so well in Ranji Trophy cricket? Surely the eventual goal for them is not just to make a living, but they also want to represent their nation.
Yeah.
So then give them that opportunity, provide the pathway. It's just not there. It's just not there. Rakesh Bhushan says, when is the new...
What is that?
मैं राजेंद्र नगर का गुंडा हूँ ad airing.
Hey, don't say anything to Rajendra Nagar. I've stayed it. It's a lovely locality. I've stayed there.
Yeah, it's a nice place. I agree.
Very nice. Lovely food. You know, as West Delhi is.
Yeah, West Delhi has some awesome food spots.
It does. Because, you know, why? It is a amalgamation of a lot of cultures. Typically, this is where all the refugees came in, right?
True.
So I had amazing food there. I think the best place in Delhi in terms of variety of food and the quality of food. Absolutely top notch.
Absolutely.
Top
Very
notch.
good. Faraz Ahmed now questioning, what is this obsession India has to get uncooked young players into the side and look past players in their 30s?
Yeah.
True.
Agreed.
And he gives good examples. Mike Hussey debuted at 30. Doggett and Weatherall, who made their debuts in the Ashes first, is 31. Harmer's 36. Get your best performance in. I agree. What's this casual ageism? Where does it come from?
Yeah, I know.
Also, I'm sorry, but if, what's his name, Karun Nair is old at 33, KL Rahul is his age. Come on. He's still rising. We may as well send him to the Rising Stars Asia Cup. No, he can lead them over there.
Okay, Rakesh Bhushan says, Nikhil, tomorrow I join Sports Today and take credit for 6.6 lakh followers. Is it the same Gigi taking credit for champion? No,
that's a very...
Rakesh, that's also... No, I think Gigi deserves credit for winning the Champions Trophy. I know Rohit said that, and after that it's been a big debate, but he deserves credit. Yeah, come on. Again, if you're being critical of the guy now because he's the man in charge, the buck stops with him. Similarly, you have to credit him for that. But then I think that's what the issue is. I don't think white ball is your problem at the moment.
White ball has not been your problem for a while.
Yeah.
It's not been. 2023 onwards, I'd say it's not been a problem. You won the Asia Cup in dominating fashion. You did very well in a home World Cup. And I still maintain the only reason you lost that final is because you went and tripped yourself up.
Yeah.
You tripped yourself up by doctoring that pitch. Simple as.
Agreed.
You could have won that tournament hands down. In T20s, less said the better. They've been phenomenal. So I don't think white ball is a problem. Red ball is a problem.
Yeah.
No one. Oh, we're joined by no one. Says in July, I don't believe in the word transition. In November, this is exactly what transition is. Gigi should continue as coach for white ball but not red ball.
The same thing I said. By the way, what no one's pointing to is something that's going viral on social media because I think in England he was asked and he said, I don't believe in that. And now that's the thing with social media.
It doesn't forget.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't forget. There are people who are pulling out his old tweets where he was calling for Sky to be played in Test cricket basis T20 performances.
See, that's a friendly advice, which I always say. Once you come to the other side now, which is hold the mic or become a journalist, when you have to have your opinion and you need to be honest with that, you can't go back to coaching because all of those things will come back to haunt you. It happened to a lot with Ravi Shastri as well, if you remember. Various things about Kuldeep and then... So, yeah.
It happens.
Don't.
And that's why there are many of them who are just more than happy to take their commentary gigs. It's a much easier thing to do.
Do that. Or there are lots who might just stick to coaching. Yeah. Stick to that.
I mean, someone like an Abhishek Nair, for example, does commentary work, but we know he's passionate about coaching.
But you look at like someone like an Ashish Nehra is kind of gone away from commentary
altogether, which is wise, right?
Focused on coaching. He says he wants to do that, and that's fair.
That's good. But then you can't do both. I don't think you can do both. It's very tough because people will then hold you accountable. Absolutely, they will.
Yeah.
Rakesh Bhushan says, Nikhil, be a fly in the Hotel Radisson Ranchi Hall and brief us how's Gigi bonding with Rocco. I'd love to see this duo scoring a century and doing well.
Yeah, it won't be an easy time after his comments on why were we celebrating that series.
And I know, then to add to that, Vikas Kohli's deleted post. Imagine having a conversation about that behind closed doors.
But I think players, I mean, I just want to say something, complete tongue. Delhi players are pretty used to it. This is what happens in Delhi cricket all the time. So these uncomfortable situations are pretty normal. So 2 of them are from Delhi, so they'd be pretty okay. I don't know how Rohit will deal with this, but I think he's also in his chill mode. I think he's in a good frame of mind right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Kevin Kumar 1978 is asking, Maukel's a failed bowling coach in Pakistan. Why do we need him in India?
Yeah, he didn't have a great time there, but he also, yeah, I mean, you could look at it. I think you need to review that as well. Though Maukel as a bowler was outstanding, but agreed, sometimes good bowlers don't make good coaches, vice versa.
Yeah.
So you can review all of that. But I think now for white ball, you wouldn't want to make any changes. Red ball, yes, maybe change the whole support staff if you think that's the right way to go. Whatever. Put some good cricketing heads together and come up with solutions, guys.
It's not like they don't have good cricketing heads. That's what really baffles me. Sitanshu Kotak is someone who's scored mountains of runs in domestic cricket. You'd think he'd be able to offer us some kind of an advice here on. And again, these players don't need coaching, right? They're past that age. It's just gentle advice when needed. They have good heads. I don't know why it is the talking heads aren't able to make much of a difference.
Agreed.
That's the main problem.
Agreed. Dikshita. Divakar
we did.
Amit
I'm so sorry.
from the US. Yes.
Divakar Amit from the USA is saying BCCI should very soon start rewarding good domestic players by giving them a chance in the India team. Otherwise, in coming years, all youngsters will pursue T20 and IPL only as a gateway to enter into the team. It's happening now.
Yeah, Divakar, this is what we've been saying for some time. See, you know what I'm saying is our viewers as well, so knowledgeable, all of them. And that's why they're part of our Sports Today family, because, they are cricket nuts just as us. I'm saying when all of us can see that, why aren't people who are in charge seeing all of this and then acting on it? I mean, these are blatant issues plaguing Indian cricket at the moment. Sort them.
In fact, you're talking about domestic cricket in this. I think now the two tournaments that people look forward to really when it comes to domestic cricket purely, I'm not counting IPL or any of the franchise or league offshoots. I think it's SMAT and Vijay Hazare in that order. People look at that more.
IPL?
Yeah, because they're IPL feeder systems. Simple as. People care about those performances because they're like, he's done well in SMAT. Could get him in. Oh, he's done in Vijay. It's 50 overs, but it's still white ball cricket. Let's give him a chance. People think that way.
Yeah.
And the players also will think that way. The two good flashy performances in this sort of a circumstance can get you noticed by any IPL side. Yeah.
Great.
That's what people care about more. So Dikshita is asking that do we expect this particular BCCI to sack GG?
Why not? I know it's taken the name of Saikia and Mithun Manas, the secretary and the board. Why not?
That they should.
It's not the names that are there, it's the position that you hold.
Exactly.
Why not?
Jason V is asking, first he sent some love, then he sent us a message saying, why on earth was Siraj shushing the crowd for booing Gambhir? Why can't fans have their say? And then they even arrested some poor guy for it, I think. Is India really a true democracy?
No, Jason Z, again, it's fine. I think players also need to stand up for each other. It happens in all sport. Players stand up for their coaches stand up for their players. That's fine.
Also the fact that Siraj stood up for him shows that I don't think he's lost the dressing room entirely yet.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure. I completely agree with that. But yeah, arresting someone for booing, you can't do that.
That by the way, I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, we don't know if it's true. So I don't know.
People are chattering about it on socials, what I've seen is the fan booing, fans booing, Siraj going and asking him to be quiet. Sitanshu Kotak was asking the fans to calm down a little bit. That's all fair and good. They are well within their rights to be defending him. Fans are well within their rights to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
On that note, we're going to take your leave. Thank you very much. Those are all the questions that we had today. Thank you for sending them in. Tomorrow is another day. There is the WPL auction that's happening. All the updates are up on Sports Today, so you can check those out as well. Siddharth is there at the auction giving you quick updates, so see those videos as well. And Pawan needs to also wake up and show us those quick two things that have come. We'll take them as well. Why are you being unfair to them, Pawan? He's our producer, sorry for those of you who don't know. Gaurav says that Muhammad Ali, Tyson, Maradona, Pele, Federer, Schumacher, are they superstars? How can sport function without it? Audience, brand, all need them. I completely agree. So you need brands, Gaurav, you in agreement, and brands come up. But again, all brands, brands are not included in teams. Teams create brands. So all these people that we're talking about, continued to play till they were performing, and they became brands in the process. And after they became brands, their longevity in the sport wasn't decided with them being brands. That's the differentiation that you have to make.
Also, you have to remember that the sports you've mentioned here, so you've got Ali and Tyson, who are of course boxing. Individual sports, one, but also boxing, which at one point was prior to the MMA boost or the MMA burst, the bubble. Boxing was the most popular combat sport in the world. These were global sports. Maradona, Pele, global sports. I'll include a Ronaldo, Messi there as well, because again, they're icons of global sports. Federer, icon of a global sport in tennis. Schumacher, a global icon from the world of Formula 1. Also, you have to remember, these sports, because they're so global, they tend to produce icons one after the other effortlessly. Even after the likes.
But cricket will do.
It has done.
Yeah.
We thought, what after Sachin? We are thinking
happen.
now, what after Kohli? You'll get
happen.
the answer to that too. So, and also, how can sport function? Well, I agree. You do need these things, but you also have to focus on the sport only and not just be dragging them out for the sake of brand value.
Yeah.
It's why I hate the whole Dhoni thing in the IPL. I feel like he's there for reasons beyond the sport. If you're only going to come to bat 3 balls, boss, then best to be done with it.
It's a private enterprise, I think. If the team wants it, what do you
And if he's okay doing it, then so be it. What am I to say?
Mr. Taklu from the UAE, he says, when
why when other sports like in badminton, football, there's a dip in performance, the popularity drops, but in cricket it doesn't happen. Authorities are not concerned because of this. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, but at the dip, what he's trying to say that stars keep coming. So so that's why cricket is popular. Because see, cricket also dips don't happen immediately. Remember, dips are temporary. They will become permanent if you don't find a way to fix it. So go back to West Indies in the 70s, 80s, the team was doing so well. Nobody would have thought dip would have come like this. It has, no? But it's been a gradual process, right? Indian hockey, nobody would have thought a dip would happen. It happened gradually because you destroyed it. Similarly, cricket is now, and players will come, players will go. The popularity will never dip like this. But if you don't care and you don't stay ahead of the game, whether it's off the field, on the field, it'll have a dip. You have to look at the next 20 years, 30 years, and to need to keep the sport in a healthy position. Dips come if you don't concentrate on various other aspects. Won't happen immediately.
Absolutely.
That's the truth. Okay, that's that then for tonight. Thank you. That's the end of another episode of Dugout. We always love your company. Do leave a comment if you're watching this program after our live has ended, and check out, as I said, plenty other sports content up. The aftermath of all the series and the comments, that the WPL auction, we've got everything covered.
Bye-bye, good night, Nandri, Shubhratri, Shabba Khair, eat your vegetables, don't trouble your mother, and subscribe to Sports Today.
Bye-bye.